shoulder, Betsy. It needs to be operated
Oh,
on.
oh no. That's sad.
Yeah, not much
Okay,
I
well,
can do, unfortunately.
oh, that's okay. You can hang out.
Exactly.
Um, so I was from the age of 9, I was a dancer, ballet dancer. Um, I opened my own dance school in 1996 and became enthralled with contortion about 1998. Have worked with numerous people from Cirque du Soleil. Skay von Schoening is responsible for all that. Um, done all kinds of, I've done TV shows, like 13 TV shows, which was kind of cool. And Little Big Shots brought us to Australia once. Um, just, it's a cool career. It's a cool career. Too much to say, but I mean, if you guys want to read up on my Beligne page and on Facebook, has all the information, my experience, and stuff that I've done, and all that good stuff, commercials and little things like that. Um, Alexa down there has been on
What?
2 TV shows,
Oh.
and Cammy in New York City has been in them. So we've had some quite fun little adventures with it. But I so much enjoy like this kind of thing where I get to meet people from different countries. I have clients in Egypt and the UK, and it's just really interesting meeting people from different cultures, and working with adults is really cool because they're so committed, and you know they work hard and see results, and that's exciting.
Excellent. So, I mean, other than the attention advantages, what do you tend to find is the main difference between working with kids and working with adults?
Dedication. And some of them, you know, I have a younger 2 that are in the UK, and they work really really hard. I don't know, adults just have a goal set, you know, and they work hard towards that goal, and I enjoy like really helping them get there. I think the best part is how surprised they are about their progress, because they think just because you're adults that you're not gonna become amazing, and you can.
Yeah, there's certainly a prevalent rumor that once you hit the age of 12, that's it, your contortion career is over.
Wow, that's a bunch too. My oldest client started when she was 46. And now she's teaching other people. She's amazing at pole. And I can't, and she was, to be quite honest with you, very stiff. But she was so dedicated and had such a regimented schedule. She's doing things that we never thought. Because that's the first thing she said to me. Am I too old to do this? People are telling me I'm too old to do this. I'm like, really?
Nice.
Like, who is anybody to set a limit on what you can do, you know? And she's blown me out of the water. She's amazing. And I can't pronounce her last name, but her name's Lisa. She's from here. And I can refer you to her Instagram if you guys, her journey's amazing.
Definitely, yeah. No, send me all these links afterwards, and I'll share it on the ACC page.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So do you find you're gone?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do you find there's any traps or pitfalls that certainly someone training contortion tends to fall into that should be avoided at all costs?
I think it's important to have a support group, like you guys have your group. If you're doing it on your own, it's really hard to stay motivated. Extremely hard.
I can agree on that one.
Yep. And that's the same for any age, honestly. You can ask these 2. I'm like nagging them all the time about doing stuff at home, send me a video, like trying to hold them responsible for practicing, and it's kind of rough. But I would say that's the hardest part. And discouragement, like if you're not seeing results, like when you think you should be seeing results, but you just have to hang in there, because gradual results is much better than quick results, because then we risk injury and all kind of good stuff. Yeah. And I would say as a whole, strengthening is like the most important thing that you can do as a contortionist to stay safe.
Excellent. So we'll just quickly move on to the girls. So Alexa, start with you. How long have you been
Yes.
working with Betsy, and what sort of got you into the world of contortion?
I think it's been like 5 or 6 years, I think.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I just kind of like was always interested in that kind of stuff. I used to go to like another studio and like I injured myself, but then like after that I like found Betsy. So yeah.
Brilliant.
A
Kelly?
lot of places here they'll show, literally the kids will tell me, they showed me this picture and just told me to do it. You know how many times I've heard that? Like a lot of improper training going on over here. Because it's trendy, you know.
I suppose in this modern age, you've also got the issue of the Instagram, like the Sophie Dossies of the world who say, "Right, this is just here's your warm up, jump into a triple fold, and away we go."
Yeah. Well, Alexa's warm up consisted of, what was it? A back bend and a split.
And like splits and stuff. Yeah.
That was, and they went straight to chest stands.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
takes me an hour and a half to warm into chest stand. Even then, there's no guarantee. Cammy, how about yourself?
Well, I've been dancing since I was like 2, but I started contortion when I was like, what, 4?
4 or 5. Her mother
Yeah.
is the co-owner of my Dance Extensions now.
Okay.
So she's heading off like all the lyrical and jazz, and she does technique, and she teaches everything, ballet and things like that. So Cammy's was born into it.
Yeah, so I've been doing it for about like either 7 or 8 years.
Okay. And so, a bit of a hokey question, but I'm going to answer it anyway. Is there anything about contortion that you particularly love, or something about it that sort of keeps you coming back?
I probably my favorite part like about contortion is just I feel like it's different.
Mhm.
And so I like when we go to events and we like perform there. I like doing that because people think it's cool and something different.
Awesome. So, before we dive into any course content, Betsy, you sort of touched upon it before, but you currently run DPAC.
Yes. And Cammy's mom's the co-director, so we run it together
And so, how long has that company been going?
since 1996.
And so,
24 years.
and you've built up quite a reputation in that time, it would be fair to say.
Yeah, hopefully a good one.
It's certainly good from everything I've heard.
Well, that's good.
So you're offering online lessons at the moment. You're sort of telling me on Messenger you're hoping to add a few Aussie clients to your list.
Right. The unfortunately the pandemic has I don't want to say unfortunately, it's been one of the good things. I have a couple group classes going, and then some private classes. So for what, it's been almost 3 months now. We've been closed, so it's kind of supplemented my income and kind of had forced me to kind of meet new people, and it's actually been kind of a blessing that way. I didn't think it would be easy. Well, it's not easy, but because I'm very hands-on with my kids, so you can instantly correct them, or show them the motion of where their body placement should be. So that's a bit challenging. I have to get creative sometimes with my explanations, but it's been kind of cool. It really has.
So if anyone's interested, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Facebook or Instagram, Bendy Trainer on Instagram. I can give you my email.
Yep.
When we hang up, I can send you a bunch of information.
That'd be great. And just a personal one for me, and then we'll get into it. But my understanding, you sort of took over co-reins of ICC a few years back. Is that true?
Yeah, Skave's kind of assigned me co-planner.
Any early scoops on when we can expect the next one?
The plan is next year.
Excellent. Take us again.
The plan is next year in Germany.
In Germany.
In Germany.
All right, so something else for everyone here to keep their eyes out for. I've been to 3 ICCs and every single one is amazing. So I highly, highly recommend it.
Well, and I attribute every single connection that I have from ICC and SCAE, because that's where I started meeting the people from Cirque du Soleil, and still I'm good friends with Enki. I absolutely love her. She was in O for years. And that's because of ICC. I met them there. So the connections and the friendships, which is how I met you, are quite amazing. So yeah, highly recommend. No matter what level you are, they have something for everybody.
Yeah, it's excellent, excellent. No, I second that. You know, if you can get there, definitely do. All right, so you are faced at the moment with 12 somewhat pliable Australian adults. I think most of us would class ourselves as somewhere between beginning to intermediate. What would you typically do with a group like this?
Well, since we have like limited time, just out of curiosity, what do you guys do for strengthening? Do you do a lot of core?
We do a bit of core. We do a lot of backups.
Backups, okay, that's important.
When we're working with legs, it's been a little tougher in the online environment, but certainly in person, I usually get them to strap weights to their legs and do the front, middles, behinds.
That's important too, yeah. Alexa and I were in Vegas with Alina Liev. We took class from her. She's from Alegria. And I tell the story all the time because the moral of the story is, if you think you're strong enough, you probably aren't, because she has really good oversplits. Like her oversplits are like 2 feet off the ground, but when she does a handstand, they're merely flat at best. And I was like, I don't understand, like, she has this flexibility, why aren't they like hyperextended when she's upside down? She said her hips aren't strong enough. And I'm like, really? I'm like, she dances 5 days a week. And she said, it doesn't matter. She's not strong enough. I'm like, oh, like, she's known for her extensions. Alina is. And I mean, she's 39 and she was on tour for the second time with Alegria. So that surprised me a lot. So that's good that you're doing, that's what we do. We do the hip strengthening. So when you guys are upside down, you're able to have good extension. I would say, I don't know what kind of core. Do you guys do crunches? Do you do like V-ups or?
So the typical repertoire is planks, V-snaps, not so much crunches. Well, there's a personal bias on my part.
Yeah, I don't mess with them. For dance, we do them, but how many V-ups do you do?
Generally 10. I tend to move through at a rapid pace.
Okay, so you want to multiply that by like 10.
100
So
V.
they do, like, when we were still in class, like, we would increase every week. They were up to 40, 2 sets of 40 we were up to. That is the most important muscle that you need for contortion, because if you your stomach muscles on the front, and if this is your spine, when you're holding your stomach in, you want to have the muscle on the front to literally push all your guts like to the back. And when that happens, you have like all that to support your spine. And it's a gross description, but it's true. Like, if you don't have that muscle to support and be able to push things up, it's dangerous. That's how stress fractures happen. And I've seen it so many times. And physical therapists say the same thing. And that's what my husband does. So that kind of helps reinforce it. So whatever you're doing for your stomach, like if you're doing 10 V-ups, do 2 sets of 10 V-ups, and then next week do 2 sets of 15, and the next week do 2 sets of 20 and increase it, just for your safety.
Good. All right, guys, you heard it here first. We've got ourselves a new warm-up.
Okay. But yeah, everything else sounds like the backups. That's important too. So that's awesome that you guys are doing that in your hips. We do, a lot of upper body strengthening. Like if you're getting into handstands, does anybody work on handstands?
I'm trying to.
Okay. So handstand drills on the wall. Start with those, like push-ups. We do a lot of drills on the wall where I time them, and they usually stay for, it ranges from a minute to, I have a couple little ones that can hold it for 5.
Oh boy, I can do 2.
That's wonderful. No, that's awesome. That's hard. Just continually like pulling everything in and pushing up in your shoulders. So that's awesome. So working on that, that's another thing, like you think you're strong enough to do, or I can hold this on the wall. And it's one of those things you think you're strong enough and you're not. So keep at 2 minutes is awesome. Awesome. And if you guys are working on them and you have a lot of elbow pain, which happens a lot, it just means your shoulders are weak. And if you need to, start on your elbows. Not a big deal, but continually check and make sure that you're pushed up in your shoulders. If you're sinking, you're not going to get any results. So, yeah. Do you want to start with legs?
Yeah, let's do it. So I asked everyone to grab the requisite props. So I think everyone's on board with that. Everyone's got
Olivia,
themselves.
did you have a question?
Oh, I'm just a bit new. I was just wondering what a backup is.
Back up. So that's we sort of touched upon them earlier tonight, although typically when I do them properly, Julie, do you want to demonstrate so I don't have to switch camera? So 2 variants. We usually start off with arms out to the side, get them to do a few of those, and then arms out in front for the second variant. Trying to keep your feet.
And it doesn't matter, like you can lift if your feet come up too, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Something else you guys might want to work into your regimen is working the side obliques, and it's super complicated to balance those things, but doing sit-ups for your sides, it's kind of my new discovery lately, because I'm noticing some people have issues that they're falling out sideways in poses and stuff, and I'm like, maybe we should start working on the sides of our waist, and that's our new thing right now. So even those backups that you just did, you can actually twist in those too. You can like turn sideways and go up and then go to the other side to strengthen the sides. So maybe that's something you guys could add to your regimen.
All right, yeah, I think we've done that a couple times in the past, but it's not something I tend to work on consistently. I think you see a lot of rhythmic gymnasts do that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. No, I think we can definitely start with those.
Sure. Where's everybody on their splits?
So does anyone here have a flat split? Just by show of hands for me.
Maybe before I turn 40.
How far are
That was
you?
on my wish list before I got there.
How far are you from the ground? Is that Amanda?
Yeah, quite a bit. How far away am I from the ground? Quite a bit, but it's because of inconsistency. But I've got a few years before 40.
Okay. So how about, do we want to stretch our legs out really good, and I'll show you some tricks to get your splits better?
Sounds good.
Sure.
Would that be cool?
Definitely.
We always start with a hip stretch. And we're going to do 2 of them, guys. So let's do just the normal lay on your back. Okay, so you have one leg folded back. If it hurts your knee, then I don't recommend you doing it. Excuse me.
So it's this one.
My allergies are terrible. And then bend your other leg. Okay, so your belly button should be pulled to the floor. Everything else should be relaxed. Your hips are nice and square.
Oh, whatever that is.
So a lot of those look pretty decent and flat. So if that's not enough, you can pick up the knee that's bent to the ceiling and pull it to your chest. And then you'll feel the knee kind of lift off the ground, which is fine. Just try to let your quad relax if you can.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Is there anybody that's not feeling it?
They're a silent bunch, this one.
So I feel more stretch when my leg is straight there.
Yeah, so one's folded back. Yeah, just like that. Do you feel that in your quad?
I feel it more like that.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see who was talking. So your heel should be 2 to 3 inches from your bum. So you can bend your right leg.
Oh, okay.
There you go, Amanda. Do you feel it?
Oh yeah, I could feel it before.
Okay. Who else is talking? I'm like trying to track who's talking. Let me see. Olivia, do you feel that? Can you feel that in your quad? Okay, good.
Yeah, that's better.
Do feel free, guys. This is a two-way conversation, so I know you guys tend to keep your mics on mute, but do feel free to turn them on. Have a chat. This is what we're here for.
So do you pronounce your name Ina? See, she must have good hip flexors. Well, a lot of you do. Like, actually, your legs are nice and flat. So that's awesome.
Thanks.
Sometimes that's a really big issue in splits. Okay, go ahead and switch. So all the stretches, with the exception of back stretches, we hold for 1 minute. Takes your muscle 30 seconds to give in and listen to you, so we want to hold it for at least 30 seconds past that to give it a chance to lengthen.
So the next time you complain about the long lunge holds, now got additional information to back it up.
So when we're done with it, just make sure your rib cages are closed and pulled in. Belly button to the floor. So from there, guys, when you need more, you'll start straightening the leg. Or you can have somebody assist. Like a lot of times I'll put my foot on their bent leg and I'll stretch their other one back. And then that gets really intense. Okay, so for the next one, Amy, do you have a chair, or Alexa? You guys could jump on, show them the calf stretch.
Yeah, there's a chair. I'll grab it. Wait, like the heel drop stretch?
Yeah.
There you go.
So see how one of Alexa's legs is bent and the other one is straight and the heel's hanging down? So we want to stretch the back of the knee and the calf. And just an FYI, like if it doesn't feel like it's enough, drop your ribs to your thigh as much as you can. You will feel the stretch higher in your hamstring, like up close to your butt.
I'm beginning to think this was not a good choice of chair, but let's see how we go.
I was just gonna say, you're gonna see Christian like roll past the screen.
Like the world's worst skateboarder. The more likely scenario is I'll slowly twist as we're doing the exercise.
We'll just get you a strobe light and it'll be entertaining. So do you guys notice, like, if you drop your ribs to your thigh a little more, how it gets higher?
Oh yeah.
That's hard to get to sometimes, that area.
Shouldn't have done that.
Okay, go ahead and switch.
So how long does a typical lesson at Impact run for?
How long what?
What's the duration of a typical DPAC lesson, contortion lesson at your school?
An hour.
Now?
I prefer an hour and a half. But sometimes our schedule, like with everything that we do, we don't have time. I mean, even 2 hours, it just feels like after an hour, an hour and a half, you're like, after we do everything, doesn't seem like enough, but I'm sure to them it does, but not for me.
I usually get to the 90-minute mark and think, right, now they've finished the warm-up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it depends on the student, I guess. Okay, so shake those legs out a little bit. All right, so was everybody able to get a golf ball or a strap of some sort or a towel?
Yeah.
So what I want to do is compare. I want to show you how this stuff works. So let's do the lunges using your yoga blocks in your hand. Let's do lunges on the right first. And just make sure in your lunge that your ankle is under your knee, and make sure that your stomach is pulled in, your chest is up, and you're nice and square. Okay, so let's lunge for a little bit, and then we'll slide the splits out.
Now, this is one I get a lot. Every now and then I say to people, right, left split, and they'll ask me, when you say left split, is that left foot forwards or back?
Forward.
Forward.
So something you can do to get that deeper is bend your back knee into your bum, so you can grab your foot with the same arm as leg, or you cross it and twist and get it the other way. Just try really hard to square back up after you get a hold of your foot. Adam, is that deep enough for you? Okay. So wherever you are at this point, and I know we're not extremely warm, but slide that out and let's do a comparison, and then we'll do the other side, and then I'll show you a couple tricks, and then so you can see the difference, so you can see the results. So like Shelby has really good splits, but probably a little tightness behind your knee. So that stretch on the chair is really going to be awesome for you.
Oh.
Okay, so let's lunge on the other side.
I pulled a muscle on my other side, so I can't do that. So I'm not ignoring you.
Okay. How long ago?
Like a week and a half.
Oh, ouch. Okay. Not fun.
What are you doing when you
Another
go?
thing I could preach about while you guys are stretching is how important it is for you to be even on both sides too. I've seen uneven splits cause stress fractures in the back. I had a girl who went through that. 2 of them actually in the last 24 years or 22 years. So that's just super important. And sometimes we tend to ignore our bad side because it's just so damn uncomfortable. But it's super important to push through that, disappointment. Unevenness in general is like the devil to contortionists. So that's super important.
Do you use the mental trick trying to get them to start with their bad leg?
Sometimes. And I can tell you guys too, attitude is everything. If your internal thought process is, I can't do that, guess what? Your body's going to follow. I would say contortion is 50% mental, no matter what age you are. I'm a little bit of a crazy, I get all kind of ideas. Gonna ask them if I say, what if, and they go, oh God, because they never know like what's coming. But they kind of learn to just try a little of everything, or being up on high canes, or like Cammie and I were working on handstand to crocodile yesterday, and it's my fault for not being consistent with it. She hadn't done it in a couple years and was afraid of it because we didn't consistently work on it. So you guys just have to kind of tell yourselves that it's going to happen and no negativity. So go try to slide out that side. Let's see where we're at. Here's a bit of food for thought. How many of you in your split right now are squeezing any leg parts? Okay, so here's my question for you. If you are squeezing a muscle, how is it going to lengthen? So that causes some uncomfortable pain because you're trying to lengthen something you're squeezing. It makes total sense. And nobody ever taught me that. Like, we just kind of figured it out, like logically, and I know a lot of people teach, okay, you need to engage this muscle when you're doing a split, you need to engage, I would say, your stomach, from the stomach up, yeah, but the rest of it, like, we're trying to lengthen it. That's why you guys bust your butt in the strengthening, so that you don't have to worry about injuries like that. Keeping your legs strong, your hips strong, your core strong, like, it's super important.
Can I ask a question? If I don't abduct and pull inwards, I turn outwards. Is there a way that you can recommend to lengthen and not accidentally turn out?
It's your hip placement.
Yeah.
Like, I used to do splits too, and my leg would always go sideways when I bent it, because you have good, you probably have a nice hip rotation out, which is great for ballet, but complicated for contortion splits. I would say lots of hip stretching. I can actually send Christian more hip stretches because we don't have a lot of time. But I would really nail those, because that's probably where the tightness is coming from.
Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I see people like that all the time. So with that said, I want everybody to grab their non-stretchy strap, towel, shirt, sweatshirt, like whatever you have, and you're gonna lay on your back. If you want to watch the girls, what you're gonna do, so the first thing that you're gonna do is kind of just put that under your foot and stretch your leg back, and the other leg is just gonna stay nice and straight on the floor. Okay, that kind of gives you a marker of where you're starting. So then you're gonna bend your knee into your chest, not to the side of your armpit, into your chest. Your foot is going to be to the ceiling, and you're going to hold on as hard as you can, but you're going to push focusing just on the hamstring. You're going to focus on only the hamstring, pushing your foot to the ceiling for 10 seconds. Now, it's much more helpful when you can actually do this with a partner, but it's not always convenient. So after 10 seconds of pushing as hard as you can, your arms are going to get a workout. You're going to straighten that leg and pull it back. Okay, you guys you're going to do one leg at a time and go ahead and repeat that. Make sure you're not pushing back, that you're pushing to the ceiling with your foot. Focusing on just the hamstring. And after you do that twice, do me a favor and just try that leg and your split again. Like Shelby, behind your knee looks much better. If you see or feel any difference, give me a thumbs up. Okay, good. Good.
Any difference?
All right, so the thing behind this is, you know how I talked about your muscle, it takes 30 seconds for it to give in. So what we do is we're pushing. So the muscle is thinking about pushing, and we kind of sneak up behind it before it has time to react, and we stretch it the other way. So you're literally pulling a fast one on your muscle.
I love the fact that you can lie to your own body.
I know, it's awesome.
Well,
Okay,
it's
so
under the heading of what Betsy said earlier. Attitude is everything. It's using the mind to control the body.
absolutely.
That was
Gotta
really
have a good internal message. You like that?
yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do the other side. I don't think it's any less effective doing it by yourself, just from me doing like video training and stuff. It seems to work just as well. The partner one, like literally somebody is like lunging over you, holding onto your shoulders. It's not a real attractive position.
I find there's a lot of partner stretches. If you didn't know they were doing contortion, you'd start to get suspicious.
Well, sometimes I say to my kids, I hope nobody like new walks into the room looking at classes and sees me like lunging over my children, you know. So we kind of figured out to do it this way. Plus, like when I'm teaching, if I have to do that to 10 people, I am so freaking worn out because they push hard. I had a friend, Mark. You've met Mark, Christian. He used to be in Totem, but he was like some world gymnast. And he's the only person in all these years who actually I physically could not hang on. I just kept sliding backwards because he was so strong. It took two of us. Somebody had to lay on me to hold him down. So it's quite hard. So when you guys do that twice on your other side, oh, but your knee looks much better.
Okay.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Awesome. So if you see results literally in like the last 5 minutes, can you imagine if you did this like 3 or 4 days a week? You know, and you guys can totally do it more than twice, you know, if it really works for you.
But by show of hands, who stretches
Your name,
it?
is that Jules? It says Jules. Did that help?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good.
And
Do you,
like my weak point in my legs. So
do you guys have a golf ball?
I have this.
Is it real hard?
Yeah.
As long as it's real hard. Okay, so Amanda, did that help you at all?
Yes. Yeah. I love partnered stretches, so I miss people and classes a lot.
Oh my gosh, I know, right? Are you guys still quarantined?
I think we're beginning to have, I think we can have classes of 10 as of next week.
Yeah, we're like 3 phases. We're red, yellow, and green. We're in yellow now. But it's frustrating because we had a recital that we can't have. The girls missed 3 competitions that they never had, like all that work all year, and it's like, you know, stinks, especially for the seniors. Alexa's a senior this year. Okay, so the golf ball. This will be your new BFF. So stand up. So if you want to check out Cammie's gray foot down there, she's going to wrap her toes around that ball with a nice straight leg. And she's going to push down as hard as she can. She's going to count to 10.
Oh, this is yoga.
Okay, and then she's going to move it back an inch.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to do it again. You guys will notice that you'll have one spot that is just nasty tender. Just try to relax and push through it.
Sadly, way more than one spot.
I think the older you get, you know, because you've been on your feet longer, and depending on your job, that can make it more intense too. So, and then move it back. You're going to do it like 5 times, just moving that ball back an inch. This is one thing that the girls always do in class. It makes such a difference.
Yeah, this one's good. I'd forgotten about it. I learned this one at yoga about a decade or so ago.
Oh yeah, that is. I have a video of, I went to teach a class. It was a yoga class in another state here, and I always say I'm going to record this because it always cracks me up. But she said a profanity after her split went down for the first time, like after doing the stretch. It's my favorite. It's awesome. But that's what I love about, because you see quick results, so you're more inclined to do it more often. But like if some of you have like a big ball and you don't feel like you're really getting in there, just grab yourself a golf ball or a small, really hard. I think they make small yoga balls like that. So do both feet.
Yeah.
And push as hard as you can take it. And quite frankly, it can be pretty nasty. Like I can feel it all the way up in my neck sometimes when I do it, which is weird, but we know everything's connected. If you ever find yourself with plantar fasciitis, this is a good exercise to help with that. I've had that once. It's not fun. Okay, so after you do both feet, then go back to your splits again.
Hello. That's lower.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Not sure like is the right word, but it's effective.
It's very effective. Well, it gives you a sense of accomplishment too, you know. Sometimes in your splits too, if you're having trouble with it just not going any further, if you take both of your legs and push them into the ground as hard as you can for 10 seconds and then relax, push, relax, you'll see yourself drop.
Wow, that made a huge difference, the feet.
Wait, yeah. Keep that front knee as tight as you can.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you have to squeeze in a split, I guess. That is like, yeah, that's my little miracle trick. And I quite honestly, about 10 years ago, I found it online somewhere. It was just a fluke. Amanda, any difference?
Yeah, a little. I reckon the resistance stuff is it gets me a lot quicker. But I need to do the ball under the foot too.
Yeah. I mean, this is literally like in 10 minutes. You know, I look into the future, you know, a month from now, how much different that's going to be. Even if you don't see much of a difference in the split, but you feel like it's a little bit easier even. That's results. So real important to you know, do that at least every other day is what I recommend, because it depends on your bodies. Like, you're all different, like whatever you feel you can take, and you're all going to have different tightness, whether it's behind the knee, the hamstring, the hip. You just do more of what's tight, you know, more exercises for what's tight. And I'll send Christian some more stuff. But yeah, what else do you guys work on? We do a lot of, my class typically goes strengthening, and then we do hips and legs, and then shoulders is usually the order that I go in.
So yeah, typically I'll start with hips, and then I start at the top, head, shoulders, and back. So I work my way down from there. So in the middle, really.
Okay. Does anybody in this group do chest stands and things like that? I know you do, but yeah, you do chest stands.
Starting to train ones without the assistance of blocks and a roller.
Okay. Yeah.
Very but sure.
You want to, just something to keep in mind is the target is to get your weight over your collarbone. The two bones that are right here. And a lot of times, especially women, because we have other body parts than men, like getting over your boobs to get on your collarbone is quite challenging. Yeah, so that's definitely a factor, but that's where you want your weight to be, and that's why it's important to really stretch your neck also. So, and there's a lot of thought process behind what to relax and what to squeeze in that pose as well. So do you guys want to just continue with some shoulders?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Yep. So I'll tell you what, let's do a neck one. If you guys can grab your yoga block.
Also, Elizabeth, do you have any magic tricks for middle?
I do.
Because that last bit just doesn't relax for me.
You know what I've noticed, and through all the different bodies I've worked with over the years, and you might be one of them. If you're in a straddle and you can't go down, are your knees touching the floor?
I can get my knees under.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes your knees will actually stop you. Yeah, it's like a real weird thing. Do you guys like let's do a quick exercise for center split then.
Sorry.
No, that's why I'm here. Do you have a chair?
I will.
Okay, so if you have a chair in front of you, sit on your bum with your legs straight. Your chair's got you just want to have your legs like 12 inches apart at least, wrapped around the bottom of the chair. So you're going to sit on the floor and face the chair. Put your legs on the outside of the legs. Yeah, so put your ankles on the outside of the legs, Amanda.
Ankles.
Your ankles, yeah, touching. There you go. So I want you to squeeze your inner thighs. Squeeze your legs together, squeeze that chair as hard as you can for 10 seconds, and do that twice. focus on your inner thighs. Like squeezing so hard your legs are shaking.
Got a little pop.
And then you're good. After you do that twice, then put your legs on the inside of the chair and push out. You guys hear my noisy birds?
Oh, wild ones or yours?
Oh, I have my windows open.
Uh,
I feed them, so there's a ton of them everywhere.
I want the compressor really is to be transformed. So much cooler than a helicopter.
So after you guys do that, go ahead and lay on your stomachs, and put your legs like in the field goal position. So your legs will be, you can look at Cami or Alexa when they do it. So your hips are in line with your knees, and then your ankles are underneath your knees.
Froggy, you doing that one?
Yes'm.
I'm gonna go grab my notepad. I'll be right back. Because I've come up with a new one for this, and I can't remember what it is.
How what we were doing last night?
Oh. Something you guys can do if it's extremely uncomfortable, and this is something Cami started doing with her bad leg split, get something and put it under your stomach or your chest, whether it's a stack of yoga blocks, or a huge pillow, anything that you can relax, because that can be extremely uncomfortable. And if you're extremely uncomfortable, then it's really hard to relax and let it lengthen. Makes it a little more tolerable.
There we go.
This service full of creators. A lot of presses. There's been a drive around killing me. Oh, I think I've won.
So it seems the main difference between front splits and middle splits is that your front splits you can be good, average, or terrible. The middle splits, it seems to be you either have terrible middle splits or great middle splits. There is no middle ground.
Yep. And either you're better at front or you're better at middle. At least in my experience. It seems like it's one or the other, and you got to fight for the other one.
How much does it cost to get a weaponized suppressor though? By the time you buy a terabyte, which is what, like 1.6, 1.7 mil, and then you've got to upgrade.
I think that's on your end, Julia.
Oh, sorry. My boyfriend's playing GTA.
Oh.
Really like.
Figure out what that question was about.
Yeah.
So I'll see, my notes are so messy, I have it written everywhere, but something that is often ignored in center splits are the outer hip and the flexor on the outside. It's not just about the inside, which is totally something I focused on for years. Like, it makes total sense. And that is something that, like, with your knees, you say, Olivia, that your knees are touching, but you can't get your inner split down. It's most likely the outside and not the inside. I don't really push my kids in their splits ever. like you don't even want anybody like forcing that down. I don't think that that's a good idea either. And if I can't find it in this mess, then I will pass it on to Christian and he can.
Oh.
Oh, here's something that's helped a lot. Guys, sit in your straddle. Like, don't lay on your stomach, but sit on your butt bones and have your legs like out to the side. So this is another position where you can put pillows under your stomach or whatever, reaching forward. So go ahead and reach forward there. So again, if you need body support, grab something.
Oh.
Jasmine, doesn't that make it a lot easier? You can kind of just relax a little bit. Yeah. All right, so come back to neutral, like sit up. Now slightly bend your right knee so that your foot's flat on the floor. Now stretch forward. Yep, whole different animal. There you go. So you can get in a little deeper on the inside with that. Why can't I think right now? Cami or Alexa, there's a stretch for the outside and I can't think right now. If you guys remember, let me know.
Wait, does it have the field goal
Cross the
one?
I can't.
Because we did the field goal one, whatever that word is, I can't say it. We did that one and then we arched and grabbed the ball.
Oh yeah. Yeah, didn't that get the outside?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are in that field goal pose, you can actually arch your back and that kind of gets on top. I feel like I have something more specific. I will forward it. I will forward things to Christian later today and he can pass it on to you guys. My notes are like in 3 different notebooks and crazy stuff, but that's a way you can get deeper into that.
I can never
Try
remember.
this. What's that?
I can never remember the name of it, but we tend to do a lot of feet in square rectangle. Is that a good one for? Because that hits the outside of the leg quite a bit.
Yeah, grab. Where do you have 2 yoga blocks right there? Put those under your feet.
Okay.
Now try to slide your arms through your legs and on the outside of the blocks.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you can grab the yoga blocks and actually pull yourself down more.
Okay.
And I believe that helps the top, like the outside of your hips.
Find a new session.
And you guys can play around with like how bent your knees are, like do it in different locations. The further away, I don't know, it just depends on where you feel it. I think the further away your legs are from you, the more you're gonna feel it.
3 grand fucking hell.
Generally, yeah.
You feel that in there? Like on the top a little bit?
Yep.
And again, just try to relax. Try to relax everything. Okay, so do me a favor, find a wall and put your back up against a wall.
It's seriously not happy in there.
Okay, so you want to make sure that your butt cheeks are like on the wall. So if you want to check out Alexa and Cami, you're going to cross one leg. Your ankle is going to be right above the knee. So what they're going to do is slowly bend the straight leg. But when you guys do it, you're going to want to like slide. Don't keep your butt against the wall. And that's another area that can be tight. You guys should feel that like in your side hip and your butt. Just make sure you don't scoot away from the wall. Now you can do that on your back and stuff, but I feel like you can't hold your position as tightly to get the maximum out of it. You guys feel that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the hip, like, and the glute especially is like a muscle we don't think to stretch. You guys can use tennis balls, or racquetballs are actually harder and better to work your glutes out. Do you guys ever do that?
I use my foam roller against it. That's always fun.
Some of you have like a racquetball. We'll try it. You can actually do it in that position too, which I wouldn't recommend for the first time because it's quite painful. It's just releasing trigger points. But Alexa and Cami, I know you guys are tired. I can finish up if you guys want to go back to bed. I appreciate you guys getting up to demonstrate for me. Okay, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.
Are you guys okay going for like 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I get carried away, so. Olivia, where's your ball? Do you have a yoga? Yeah, that might be too painful.
It was. But I will get one.
Who's got like a racquetball or a
I have a tennis ball.
tennis ball? Grab that. Okay, yeah, those will work. When you get your ball, lay on your side. So you're just gonna keep your knees bent. There you go. So I'll wait for Olivia. All right, you guys know where your glute is. You know where your butt dimple is. Squeeze your butt. You know the butt dimple. You're gonna put the ball in there and lay on your side.
Right, what's this? Time trial.
So you're gonna kind of move it around, and you're gonna feel like a burning sensation.
Just like course, and you go.
Yeah, see Jules' face. That's what you should be feeling.
That's tight.
It's nasty. It's nasty, nasty, nasty. And it's not something we pay much attention to. Actually, if that's really tight, if you have lower back pain and don't know why, that could be part of the reason. Lower back pain, I've seen tight hips cause it because they're tight and they're pulling on the back. And tight glutes.
Yeah, I know my outer hips are really tight. That's what I struggle with in middle splits, I think.
Yeah, so all this will help. That one we just did on the wall, that's a good one too. Yeah, but the more you guys do this, it'll let up a little bit, and it won't be as bad. Peanuts are really awesome. Do you guys have peanuts over there?
I know what you're talking about, and they're awesome, but I don't have one.
Yeah, they're one. Yeah, because you can use those on your back as well and roll your back out. But those are really.
Sometimes I do tennis balls in a sock. That's the budget peanut.
Oh.
Or two like.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, 2 hard balls in like in a sock with a knot on it, and it's my budget.
You know what? I didn't even think about that. Good idea.
We use lacrosse balls.
Yeah, because they're harder. Yeah, that's what I have at the studio.
It's interesting you say it can cause lower back pain because I've got this one spot here and I can feel it in my lower back.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all connected. It's all connected. Yeah, you can roll it out too, but this kind of details it a little more. You see how Jane, she's got her like bottom leg straight too. So that's how like I do it. I don't know, you maneuver it however you feel it. But here's what else I want you to do. I want you to work down to your IT band. So I want you to also do that on the outside of your thigh. And the girls are gone, so if you need to cuss, let it rip, because it's not going to feel very good. Isn't that horrible? That's also a forgotten about muscle.
I find if I loosen my ITB too much, though, my knees feel like they might they don't feel as strong.
Really?
Like trail running and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if I really let my ITBs get loose, if I go to a physio and they really work them, I feel quite I feel more vulnerable in my knees, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's where your strengthening comes in. The hardest part about flexibility and contortion is finding that balance between the strength and the flexibility. Oh, look at your puppy. He's so cute. Is he a Great Dane?
Online and jobs.
Jasmine's puppy. I've got to meet so many dogs and cats over the pandemic. And
He's
I'm
a
big
black Labrador and his name is Epic.
Epic. Aww. Cammy that hung up, they have a huge chocolate lab. I have three. I have a boxer, and I have American Bulldog boxer mix, and I have a Neo-American Bulldog. And they're being surprisingly quiet, and I haven't fed them yet, so I'm really surprised. And I have 2 cats.
Are they used to there being life in the house yourself?
Yeah, but they hear anything outside, they usually bark, and it's kind of annoying when I'm trying to teach. Yeah, so with those couple things, guys, why don't you see if that helps your center splits?
I'm trying.
You can use that ball everywhere. Trigger points in your back, your butt. There's stuff for your hamstrings. You can lean on the wall and get trigger points in your back. You can go in doorways and work your shoulders, and there's all kind of good stuff you can do with the ball. There's something weird about doing something like that, like when you hit like the IT band and don't realize how freaking tight it is, and that pain just comes out of nowhere. Yeah, but I think if you get in the stuck position, like working on the outside a little more is helpful. That's a good way for you guys to unwind at night after work, and after whatever you do is get that ball out and just roll your body out everywhere. You can do your tailbone, like working around your tailbone, your lower back.
I need to do that more. I think that's the first time I felt comfortable in froggy.
Oh, that's amazing. See, that makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry we didn't get further, but that's what happens with me. I get distracted. But if you guys got at least like one thing that you think's going to help you, then it was worth it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Maybe someday we can get together again and we can do shoulders.
Do a part 2.
Yeah. But it was great meeting everybody. Does anybody have any questions or? And that was helpful?
Yeah, it's really good.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'm out of here then.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Nice to meet you.
I loved meeting all of you.
Thank you very much.
And Epic.
When you send me all those details, while you're at it.
I'll send you some notes.
Yep, send me a postal address as well, because I'd like to send a club shirt.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, I want a shirt. I'm working on mine also. It's really cool. Like for Beligne, it's a tree, and the trunk of the tree is actually a contortionist. It's pretty cool. I'm waiting on the 10-year-old in Egypt to finish it for me because she's doing it on her iPad, like coloring it in for me. Yeah, nobody else could help me, but she could, so it's funny. I ended up drawing it myself, and she's finishing it. So, yeah, I'll pass that along too. But yes, I would love one of those shirts.
Dan, I'll get it in the post as soon as I can.
Awesome. You guys keep up the hard work.
Yes.
No limits. No limits. No limits. If you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Very much.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Elizabeth.
Bye.
Bye.